What's up, everyone? ToadSlayer72 here. You were looking at the Mattlures DeadTwitch, and it's a monster. That 13 1/8 inch you see written down behind the lure there on the plywood, that's accurate. I know it actually looks like it might be a little bit bigger. We've got a little depth perception, deception going on here. I'm surprised at how far off that looks in the viewfinder here, but trust me when I tell you, if the camera was directly above this looking straight down, you'd see that nose of that bait is lined up perfectly with that line. It's dead nuts. This thing is 13 1/8 inches long. At least this one is. But the weight is 1 pound. So yeah, it's serious. It's a serious big bait. But I'm going to fish it. I'm really going to use it here. It's a surface lure. It's meant to be dead stick on the surface, which basically means you don't do anything with it. You just let it sit there and bob around. If there's any little wave action, you know, this thing just does its thing laying up there. I don't know if it's supposed to represent something dying or something feeding, but I guess most importantly it's just supposed to represent an easy, unsuspecting target, you know, an easy meal, a big meal. So that's how you're supposed to fish it. Now I've seen videos of guys swimming them a little bit, and it looks crazy. It looks so real. Now I don't know how aggressive you can get with it. I don't think it's meant to be worked too fast or too aggressively. I think it loses its, you know, balance and starts to roll over. But I think you can probably perhaps work a subtle aggression, you know, maybe get it to do some things gradually, like maybe walk the dog or do some turns, 180s or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised if it was more versatile though, I'll say that. And I think I've read things that hint, that's in the back of my head somewhere, that you can do things with it, but just in a slow, subtle way. Hardware, you've got, they look to be those ST41s, the same ones that are on that Strong Bass that I just did a video of. These are just bigger. They look to be about a 1/0. Split rings, they're heavy duty for sure, but they're not staying, as you know. I'll be putting some hyper wires on there, but you could definitely leave this thing stock and not have to worry. It's good to go. Build quality is typical Matt's awesomeness. I mean, the realism is just off the charts with this bait. I think even more so than the hard baits, maybe. I guess there's something about those soft baits that you can get that little extra with it. But yeah, it's crazy looking. The details are just off the hook. Right from above there, you can see the gills, gill plate, eyes. Those eyes are always looking good on his baits. The jawbone that protrudes out there just looks real. Fins, everything. Just look from above, just that thing just swaying in the current, you know. But scale pattern, color, everything good. You got the same joint design here that he's got on those hard baits. You know, like that ball and socket. Same deal. Looking good. Got an anchoring point here for a Butch Brown rig or some other alternative rigging method where you're coming off of that and rigging something up on the top here. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to leave it like this. The bottom hooks, guess you could mask the bottom hooks too. I'm sure people are doing that. I don't know if I'm even going to do that. But this thing ties off in the mouth right there. That's where you tie it. So that's it. I mean, I live in the Northeast, and I can just hear it now, someone trying to make the argument that fishing for largemouth and smallmouth up here, I got no business with a massive bait like this, you know. But you know, you could make that argument, I guess, but I'll quickly make the counter argument that we've all caught 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-inch fish, you know, tiny things on baits that were either the same size as the fish or not much smaller. You know, that's not random. You know, that's the fish. That's in its nature. You just scale it up to bigger fish, bigger sizes. I have no doubt an 18-inch fish will hit this. And trust me when I tell you, I'm not fishing for 18-inch fish. I'm fishing for 2-foot fish or something close or around that. But you start thinking about that and it's a lot easier to accept that it happens. I mean, that's just with big bait fishing in general. I remember when I first saw Huddleston, I was like, man, that's big. Or BBZ, you know, that looked big, but it's a mental hurdle. You got to get over it. And it's hard with this bait because it's so massive, but I don't care. I'm going to fish with it. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to use it. I got to get a new rod for it. I don't know if I said that already, but that's the way it goes. I'm going to get a new rod just for this bait. Now, I got some other baits here. Speaking of HUDs, I got a HUD here just to show how much bigger this thing is. It's huge. I mean, look at that. This looks like a standard size bait. It looks like a little thing. Just dwarfs it in every way. Looks like its little baby brother. It's massive. Now we got a 10-inch triple trout here, which is definitely bigger than the HUD, but still doesn't look like much compared to this guy. So I mean, even though the specs aren't enough to let you know how big that lure is, seeing it up against something you know, this really puts it into perspective. Now, as far as I know, at the time of this filming, this bait's still available. I just got I got this not that long ago myself, actually. And it came pretty quickly. You know, I placed the order. It was 2 weeks or under. I want to say 10 days maybe. It was pretty quick. So, $65 is what it goes for. I mean, you know, I don't think that's bad, so I'm not going to get into all that. I think that's a good price for what you're getting. There he is. Give you one last look over here. Get over the mental hurdle. It's big bait fishing. This is real big bait fishing, but double digits. I'll swallow this easily. Alright. The old DeadTwitch. I'm going to get out soon. Try to get some footage on the water of this thing. Just, you know, I have mostly ice in my area, but I have some open water areas where close to shoreline where I can just have this thing swimming. I want to get some footage of it swimming in the water and see what I can do with it. Maybe pop it around a little bit, see what it does. But I'll try to do that within a week. So that's it. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed the show. Take care, everyone.